I just wanted to share my experience with this in case anyone else is considering it. I have been using it in my own closet for a while now, and I have enough day-to-day time with it to talk about what it is like to live with, not just what it looks like on the box. At a basic level, this is a closet organizer that gives you a vertical column of shelves and 2 drawers. It is for someone who is tired of stacks of clothes sliding around on a wire shelf, or someone whose closet has plenty of hanging space but no good place for smaller items. If your closet ends up with socks in random baskets, belts draped over hangers, and shoes piled in a corner, this kind of unit is meant to give those things a consistent home. What made it interesting to me is the mix of open shelves and closed drawers. I tried setups in the past that were all shelves, and I always ended up with a messy-looking pile somewhere. The drawers give you a spot for the small stuff that does not need to be on display, and the shelves handle the larger items that you grab all the time. It is also the kind of organizer that lets you change the shelf positions, so it can adapt when you realize your initial plan was not realistic. In person, the finish is a clean white laminate. It reads simple and neutral, and it does not make the closet feel darker. I have seen white finishes that look yellow or chalky, and this one looks closer to a straightforward bright white. The surface feels smooth and easy to wipe down. Mine has picked up a little dust and a couple of scuffs from shoe soles, and it cleans up with a damp cloth without a fight. The edges and corners look fine once it is assembled. But like most laminate furniture, you still want to be a little careful during assembly so you do not bang a panel on the floor and chip an edge. The overall build feels like what you would expect from laminated wood panels. It is not heavy like solid wood, but it does not feel flimsy once it is tightened up and sitting square. The drawers have a satisfying amount of resistance when you pull them, and they do not feel like they are going to fall off the rails. I would not slam them shut, but in normal daily use they slide in and out smoothly. I keep socks and underwear in one drawer and belts and smaller accessories in the other, and it has been a practical use of the space. Setup is the part people will either tolerate or hate, so here is what it was like for me. The pieces were packed well, and everything was separated in a way that made it easier to confirm I had the hardware. The instructions were clear enough to follow without guessing, but it still takes time. This is not something I would start late at night and expect to finish quickly. I built it on the floor with plenty of room around me, and that helped a lot. I used a screwdriver for most of it, and I used a drill carefully for a couple of steps to save time. If you use a drill, I think it is worth going slow. It is easy to over-tighten and strip a hole in laminated panels if you get aggressive. I also want to be honest about what takes the most effort. Getting everything aligned and squared up is what determines whether it feels solid later. When I rushed one section early on, I noticed the panel was slightly off, and I had to backtrack and fix it. That extra 10 minutes saved me from living with a drawer that would not glide as smoothly. Once I took my time, it came together cleanly, and the drawers lined up the way they should. After it was assembled and in place, the organizer started earning its keep pretty quickly. I adjusted the shelves based on what I actually own, not what I thought I would store. I keep a couple of shelves taller for shoes and a couple tighter for folded shirts and workout clothes. The adjustable shelves matter because closets are personal. If you wear bulky sweaters, you need more height. If you are storing smaller items like caps or clutches, you can tighten it up and avoid wasted space. In daily use, I noticed 2 big differences compared to my old setup. The first is that the closet stays organized longer. When there is a drawer for socks, socks stop migrating into random piles. When there is a shelf for shoes, shoes stop living on the floor. It sounds obvious, but the real change is how little effort it takes to keep it that way. The second is that my mornings feel less scattered. I am not searching for a belt or digging through a basket anymore. Everything is in the same place every time. I also paid attention to how it held up to normal household wear. I have moved items around a lot. I have loaded the shelves with stacks of jeans, and I have pulled the drawers open daily. Nothing has loosened up so far, but I did one practical thing that I recommend based on experience. After about a week of use, I went back with the screwdriver and checked the fasteners. Laminated furniture can settle a little after the first few days, and a quick snug down helped it feel even more rigid. There are a few limitations worth saying out loud. The assembly time is real, especially if you are doing it alone. If you are not comfortable with furniture assembly, you may want a second person just to help hold panels in place while you secure them. The other thing is sizing. The model I am using is 16 inches wide, and that can be perfect in a medium closet where you want a narrow vertical section, but it can feel a little cramped if you hope to store extra wide items. For example, if you want to store big handbags or wide storage bins on the shelves, you are going to be more limited. I worked around that by using slimmer bins and stacking folded clothes a bit more neatly than I used to. It also does not have any smart features, and there is no mobile app. For a closet organizer, I did not miss that at all. The practical features here are the adjustable shelf positions and the drawers that actually slide without drama. That is the kind of functionality I care about in a closet. If you were expecting some kind of modular system that tracks inventory or integrates with your phone, that is not what this is. It is a straightforward piece of home storage furniture. After living with it, my overall impression is that it does what I needed it to do. It gave me shelves at the right height, drawers for the small stuff, and a cleaner-looking closet that is easier to maintain. It is not a magical fix for clutter. You still have to decide what goes where, but once you do, it supports that routine well. If you are the kind of person who wants everything visible, you might prefer all shelves. If you hate folding clothes, you may not use the shelves as effectively. But if you want a mix of open and closed storage that helps a closet feel calmer and more predictable, this setup makes sense in real life. You can view detailed information about the ClosetMaid SuiteSymphony closet organizer with shelves and 2 drawers in the comments section. Thank you for watching.